Yo, Prime members, so check this out. We are here to talk about our favorite thing in the world, and that is Amazon Prime.
That's right. We all have different interests, but there's one thing that brings us together: Prime.
As members ourselves, we found ways to maximize our Prime benefits to get the most out of our passions.
From fast and free shipping, streaming of movies and music, and even exclusive deals and discounts, Prime has it all.
And what's great is that you can use all of these services to elevate your hobbies and interests.
Whether you're a bookworm, a fitness fanatic, or a gaming guru, Prime has something for everyone. I promise you that.
So go ahead, explore and indulge in all that Prime has to offer. We promise you won't be disappointed.
Time to get more out of whatever you're into. Prime. And that's that on that.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your favorite sports girl, Chanel S. Reynolds. Welcome to another week of the Success Playbook Podcast. Thank you all for trusting me, my voice, and thank you for tuning in. If you're listening by way of Apple Podcasts, Amazon, YouTube, whatever, I want you to make sure that you like, follow, and subscribe to the Success Playbook Podcast. Also, do your girl a favor, leave a 5-star review. Please and thank you. If you're enjoying the content, make sure you're telling everybody. The more reviews we leave, the more they elevate this, the more the algorithm picks up on it and they share with other individuals, and we can share the gospel of Black culture, sports, and career. Once again, I'm your host. If you've been around last season, you know who I am. If you tuned in for the last episode, you know who I am. If not, in the words of Jay-Z, allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Chanel S. Reynolds. I am a 10-year sport professional. I am low-key a vet in this industry. Furthermore, I am a 2-time published author with 2 books on Amazon, and I am a 2-time speaker by way of TEDx. So your girl has been traveling. Your girl has been on the move. Your girl has been ripping and running, all in the name of elevating Black excellence, right? Elevating Black success. Of course, my goal is to take what I've learned from 10 years of dominating the sports industry as a Black woman to navigate stories and help others to navigate their specific areas in which they want to grow in and achieve the ultimate life of success, whatever that looks like to you, right? So that's what I'm here for. So without any further delay, I really want to dig into this week's episode. So I talked a little bit about it on our last episode, but a few weeks ago, we lost a pioneer in Black sports. Yes, I am talking about Jim Brown. We lost Jim Brown. He passed away at the age of 87. He spent years in the league. He spent years making impact outside of the league. So I just want to talk a little bit more about his accomplishments, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about what that has to do with today's episode. So for those of you who don't know, Jim Brown is NFL alumni, so he's, again, played for several years. He's an activist, he was an activist, and he was an actor. He led the league in touchdowns for 5 seasons. He helped the Browns to 3 NFL championship games, including capturing the title in 1964. And for some of us 90s kids, we may recognize him from movies like When Mars Attacks or movies like I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker. Or even for the Black 90s sitcom fans like myself, he made guest appearances on shows like Living Single, because we know that Overton Wakefield Jones loved his Cleveland Browns. So he was on there busting it up with Overton in one episode. So Jim Brown was indeed a household name when it came to football and activism, and the intersection of football and activism. And I'll say that it was a big loss in the industry when he left this earth. And to me, there are several things that we can learn as individuals. We can grasp them from him, and we can apply it into our everyday lives. So this episode is dedicated to Jim Brown. This episode is designed to help us identify ways that we can elevate ourselves, ways that we can use some of his characteristics to help us tap into another level of success. So here we go. Here are a few things that we can all learn from Jim Brown. Number 1, leading by example. Jim Brown led both on and off the field, demonstrating the power of leading through actions and setting a positive example for others. Now, one source, the Sports Illustrated, said that Jim Brown, they were referencing his performance and how dominant he was on the field, right? And word for word verbatim, they said that he overpowered, outran, and outthought an entire sport generations ahead of its time. So what this article is saying is that Jim Brown indeed changed the game, right? He allowed for his performance to speak for him when he was on the field. He not only showed up each and every day as a leader, but he showed up each and every day with the mindset of, how can I outperform what I did yesterday? So given that specific point, I want us to always ask ourselves these questions. Number one, ask yourself, when you're about to enter into the world, how are you choosing to show up today, right? Are you choosing to show up the same way that you did yesterday? Are you choosing to show up as a leader or as a follower? And one thing here, I'm going to address this because I know I have a lot of the new entrants into their career field. I have a lot of younger individuals that are listening to me, and some of you may be new to your career. And a lot of you ask me about getting into leadership roles in your specific companies or what have you. But my boss, one of my bosses in the past, told me that I don't have to be a leader or in a leadership position in order to be a leader. He really emphasized the fact that just because you have a title does not make you a leader. So without the title, you can still start to lead, right? So as we're waking up and we're heading out the door and we're heading into our prospective areas of whether it be work or showing up in the community or what have you, I want you all to start to think every day, like, how are you going to show up, right? And to that point, when you show up, how are you going to perform? Because according to this article, Jim Brown, that's a big statement to say that you are ahead of your time and that you outperformed in a sport, or that you outthought a sport, you outsmarted a sport, an entire sport. In some parts of the article, they referenced him as one of the greatest players of all time. So, like, what type of legacy are you leaving? When you show up, are you preparing to outperform the previous day? Now, look, I am not the one to be about hustle culture and grind hard, shine hard. I used to be, but you know, the Lord delivered me from that. But that's not what I'm saying. Just because the expectation is for you to outperform, it doesn't mean you have to burn yourself out. There is a healthy balance. But my biggest challenge for you is to always find ways and always identify ways as to how you can lead in your specific area and how you can outperform what you did yesterday. So that's one lesson we can learn from Jim Brown. The second lesson is resilience in the face of adversity. Throughout his career, Jim Brown faced numerous challenges, but he never let them deter him. His resilience teaches us to overcome obstacles and stay focused on our goals. The reason why this point, number 2, resilience in the face of adversity, resonates with me is because y'all know I wrote a whole book on this, right? The Art of Taking L's, available on Amazon. The Art of Taking L's. And it teaches you how to show up in the midst of adversity, right? We are not always going to win in the game of life. We are not always going to make the touchdown. We're not always going to be successful in something, right? Especially, I have this theory, especially for those of us who are more outgoing and we raise our hand at every opportunity to show up, and we are enthusiastic and we raise our hand at every moment that we can to participate and to learn new things. Those of us who are more engaged are more prone to fail because we're putting forth more of an effort than someone who's just a scaredy cat and sitting on the sideline, right? So because we're not scaredy cats and sitting on the sidelines, because we're often in the game, we are more prone to fouls. We're more prone to getting hurt. We're more prone to failure. So failure is not a bad thing. It's a part of the art of taking L's. Allow your failure, allow your adversity to push you into a new set of purpose that you didn't know was on the inside of you. So that's one of my favorite things that we can learn from Jim Brown. Another thing, and this is the last thing, and I'm going to take a little while to talk about this because this to me hits home. Number 3 is activism and social responsibility. I'm going to pause there. Jim Brown was a part of that athletic era that allowed Black people to see our power and allowed Black people in sports to understand that we have such a huge platform. So why not use this platform to elevate the voices that may not often be heard? And they use their platform to make stands for social justice and for activism. And I know there are a lot of folks who may think that Colin Kaepernick, started this whole revolutionary era, kneeling and all that. And all that is great. But his template was Jim Brown, Muhammad Ali, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Bill Russell. Like, I literally...
Yo, Prime members, so check this out. We are here to talk about our favorite thing in the world, and that is Amazon Prime.
That's right. We all have different interests, but there's one thing that brings us together: Prime.
As members ourselves, we found ways to maximize our Prime benefits to get the most out of our passions.
From fast and free shipping, streaming of movies and music, and even exclusive deals and discounts, Prime has it all.
And what's great is that you can use all of these services to elevate your hobbies and interests.
Whether you're a bookworm, a fitness fanatic, or a gaming guru, Prime has something for everyone. I promise you that.
So go ahead, explore and indulge in all that Prime has to offer. We promise you won't be disappointed.
Time to get more out of whatever you're into. Prime. And that's that on that.
There's a in my bathroom is decorated with Black sports and activism, and I have that photo of them at the press conference, including Jim Brown, sitting on my wall in my restroom. And the press conference was due to the fact that Muhammad Ali had denied going to the war, and he was taking a stand for Black Americans. He was just like, I'm not fighting for this country. This country wouldn't fight for me. I'm not fighting for this country. And him and other Black athletes rallied around each other. Now, the reason why that moment and so many other moments, but this moment and the 1968 Olympics, those are my top two big moments that motivate me. But this moment sits on my wall is because it's a constant reminder for me to utilize my platform in sports to be an activist. So my question to you is, no matter what industry you're in, whatever your area of expertise is, what are you doing to be an activist? What are you doing to drive impact? What are you doing to evoke change? What are you doing to make life better for others coming behind you? My challenge for you is to always identify ways to not only get a seat at the table, but to pull up chairs for others, and to continue to be a voice, and to continue to use your platform to allow others to shine. Continue to use your platform to allow others to grow. I think that in the sports industry, we have such a unique opportunity because eyes are constantly on us, right? Eyes are constantly on the athletes. Eyes are constantly on these franchises and the decisions that they make because they're multi-billion-dollar companies, right? So because we have all these eyes on us, be like Jim Brown. Be like Muhammad Ali. Be like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And allow for your platform to shine and to pave way for others. So I hope y'all were taking notes. Those were my three things. Number one, and I pull out your pen and paper if you didn't get it the first time. Number one, lead by example. Number two, be resilient in the face of adversity. And number three, use your platform to be an activist. Like I said, y'all, success to me is not just making it. That's not success to me. That's selfish. Success to me is making it and then leaving the door open behind you for others. Success to me is making it and then pulling up chairs for other people so that they too can have a seat at the table. So I challenge you all to lean into these three characteristics, lean into these three opportunities for you to elevate yourself and for you to tap into a new level of success. So as we wrap up today's show, I want to pivot into our Game Changer segment. As we wrap up today's episode, I want to acknowledge a game changer. This person is a culture shaper and is committed to impact beyond the court or the field. They are Black excellence personified. Today, I want to acknowledge Miss Autumn Lockwood. Let's clap it up for Autumn. Shout out to you, girl. So if you are not familiar, in the 2023 Super Bowl, Autumn became the first Black woman to coach in the Super Bowl. That was just last year. So Autumn became the first by way of the Philadelphia Eagles, and she's just a rock star through and through. It's crazy that, we are in 2023. We're still having the conversation of the first, just to give you all background as to who she is, Autumn received her Bachelor of Science degree in Criminal Justice from the University of Arizona in 2015. She has her Master's degree in Sport Management from East Tennessee State University. And then lastly, she's just Black excellence personified. She is just dripping Black excellence. She is dripping game changer energy. Let's again clap it up for our girl, Autumn. Autumn, keep changing the game and hold the door open for others so that they too can walk in your footsteps. Shout out to you, girl. Remember, in the game of life, success is not just about winning on the court or on the field. Our goal is to win in life and to create impact. So keep pushing, play hard, embrace excellence, and strive for greatness every day. Always remember that success is at your fingertips, Black kings and Black queens. Once again, thank you for tuning in to the Success Playbook podcast, exclusively available on the Revolt Podcast Network, anchored in hip hop, powered by creators. See you next week.
Yo, Prime members, so check this out. We are here to talk about our favorite thing in the world, and that is Amazon Prime.
That's right. We all have different interests, but there's one thing that brings us together: Prime.
As members ourselves, we found ways to maximize our Prime benefits to get the most out of our passions.
From fast and free shipping, streaming of movies and music, and even exclusive deals and discounts, Prime has it all.
And what's great is that you can use all of these services to elevate your hobbies and interests.
Whether you're a bookworm, a fitness fanatic, or a gaming guru, Prime has something for everyone. I promise you that.
So go ahead, explore and indulge in all that Prime has to offer. We promise you won't be disappointed.
Time to get more out of whatever you're into. Prime. And that's that on that.